Hello and welcome to another episode of the Losers Win Again Fantasy Football Channel. I am your host, Jacob Brown, and today we're here to talk about the top 5 stacks that you need in NFL Week 1 Draftkings. We got a lot of content out, guys. We got a QB breakdown video, a running back breakdown video, a wide receiver breakdown video, a tight end breakdown video. We have gone into depth in our first look on each position, from quarterback all the way down to defense. And we have a cash and a GPP lineup that I think is going to be very likely to be successful in Week 1. Later on this week, probably Saturday afternoon, Saturday night, we will have a final thoughts video dropping. And we'll have some bits and pieces dropping in between. But if you enjoyed this content, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want more content just like this. And let's get after it. Top 5 stacks for the NFL Week 1 DraftKings slate. Before we get into the top 5 stacks for Week 1, let's talk about the importance of stacking. Stacking is a strategy where you roster a quarterback and one or more of his pass catchers. The hope is that from a strong offensive team that it will help each other put up big numbers. Look for high point total games. Roster players from opposing teams, as known as run back options. And 3v1 stacks are vital in stacking. This means you need a quarterback, 2 pass catchers, wide receiver, tight end, running back, and 1 player from the opposing team, preferably another pass catcher. I don't know how many times I've seen over the years people just making huge mistakes and not stacking, or if they do stack, they don't have a run back option, or they play like 2 tight ends from the same game, or just stuff like that. It's just a huge mistake, and you're playing the game wrong. We got to remember here, there's strategies to this. This is not just play the best players. Stacking is vital. And if you want to know more about stacking, I have a How to Win GPPs video on Draftkings that I posted about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. If you're interested, it talks about a lot more than just stacking. But we go into more detail. So yeah, go check that video out if you think you need to. But let's go ahead and move on to number 5 on the list. At number 5, we have the Las Vegas Raiders. And man, they have some great value here. So let's just briefly go over what we're looking at here. So on that top slot, right under 5, you have the cost for each stack. Then next to it, you have the average remaining player. So like, this is basically what you can afford after you've created your stack. Then you have salary remaining. Then you have a stack rating. Then you have your team name, of course, the Las Vegas Raiders. Then you have the projection of that stack, the value of that stack, the ceiling of that stack, and the floor of that stack. So when we go across this first line here, the best stack that you can possibly use for Week 1, the best value for the Oakland Raiders is Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Austin Eckler. Then you got, and it's also the highest projected stack out of all the stacks. Look, when I made this, when I was creating this tool, I literally went through every single option that could be a stack for this game. And this is what I came up with. So these are the best stacks possible. So the first stack is projected to do a 75.1, which is the best out of all the ones that I did. And it's the best value out of all the ones I did. After that, we got Derek Carr, Darren Waller, and Austin Eckler. Then we got Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Keenan Allen. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, and Mike Williams. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Austin Eckler. Derek Carr, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, Keenan Allen. Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Waller, and Joshua Palmer. And then Derek Carr, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, and Mike Williams. So, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are 8 stacks that are vital for you to be successful. And what I would personally do is just go on any kind of optimizer that you use, or even hand build. You can hand build these, just different variations of this lineup with different players mixed in, but like use these core 4 players in each stack. But yeah, so that's the Raiders for you. One thing that's kind of interesting here is Darren Waller is almost in every single one of these. Austin Eckler for the Chargers is probably the most popular Charger play. And yeah, I mean, you got that one little outlier in Joshua Palmer. But I will say this, I mean, the Chargers are going to be a good stack this week, numbers-wise, but I think this is a great way to get pieces of the Chargers by stacking the Raiders. Just my personal opinion. But yeah, this is the top 8 stacks that I think will work for the Las Vegas Raiders. So let's go ahead and move on to number 4. Speaking of the Los Angeles Chargers and Las Vegas Raiders game, next here on the list is number 4, the Los Angeles Chargers. At the top here, we got Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Darren Waller, and Keenan Allen. It's the second highest. It's the third highest projected stack, but the best value. Then we got Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, Darren Waller, Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett, Devontae Adams. This one right here, the Herbert, Eckler, Everett, Adams, is probably my favorite Chargers stack for week 1, because you can get Devontae Adams in there and you don't have to like spend an arm and a leg. It's more affordable to create another lineup. You get $22,300 left to build a lineup. But yeah, that's one of my favorite ones for Charger stacks. Then we got Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Devontae Adams. That's the highest projected stack out of all the stacks that I did. I did like 20, 30 something stacks, different variations, and this was the highest projected one, and it's the 4th best value. Then we got Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett, Hunter Renfrow. Decent, but the only thing that's really good about this one is the value, of course, but also what you have left over to spend. It's the most out of all these stacks. You have the most money left over, so you got $4,900 basically for players, and then you got $24,600 remaining. So yeah, definitely something to be interested in if you're trying to get bits and pieces of this game and you really want to play Chargers. Then you got Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, Devontae Adams. Then you got Justin Herbert, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Hunter Renfrow. And then you got Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Darren Waller. So yeah, here is the top stacks for the Los Angeles Chargers. Let's go ahead and knock out number 3. We're moving on to number 3, the Kansas City Chiefs. I have a lot more stacking options here compared to the other teams we've discussed so far, just due to the fact that there's so many new wide receivers for the Kansas City Chiefs, and you can't really not latch down on just 1 or 2. One thing I will say about this list right off the bat is I don't have any McCole Hardman. 0. He's dealt with injuries all training camp. I know Juju did too, but Juju came back to practice pretty quick compared to McCole Hardman. That might be a mistake on my part. Drop in the comment section if you think I'm making a mistake not playing McCole Hardman. And just to also point out too, news can change things a lot. So I might not be playing McCole Hardman right now, but that could change by the time lot comes around. So that's why it's really important to watch our final thoughts video that we're going to drop Saturday night. So let's go over it. The best value stack for the Kansas City Chiefs for week 1 is Patrick Mahomes, Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, and Rondale Moore. I agree with that. I mean, Rondale Moore is a great value play. I know he's been dealing with some injuries, but it looks like he's going to be on the right track to play week 1. I think Juju has the best opportunity, and Travis Kelce's more than likely going to lead target share, especially the first couple weeks of the season, just in my opinion. Then we got the second best value in Patrick Mahomes, Sky Moore, Travis Kelce, Rondale Moore. That's probably my favorite stack. Just due to the value. I mean, you still got so much left over to play with in the rest of your lineup. Basically almost $5,600 left in salary players remaining, and $27,900 actually remaining. So that's pretty awesome in my opinion. Then we move on to number 3, Patrick Mahomes, Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Rondale Moore. That's pretty interesting in my opinion. Very decent stack, a lot of money left over to play with. Here's a bit more of an expensive stack, and it's the second most highest projected stack. Patrick Mahomes, Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, Marquise Brown. I think this is going to be the most popular one out of the ones I'm mentioning here, because it's really just the core of Kansas City and the top wide receiver for Arizona. So yeah, that's going to be a real popular one. Then we move on to Patrick Mahomes, Sky Moore, Travis Kelce, Marquise Brown. That's going to be probably the second most popular. Patrick Mahomes, MVS, Travis Kelce, Rondale Moore. Patrick Mahomes, Sky Moore, Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquise Brown. And then we got Patrick Mahomes, Juju Smith-Schuster, Travis Kelce, James Conner, which, by the way, is the highest projected stack that we have on this list at 67.2. Then we move on to Mahomes, Moore, Kelce, Conner. Pretty decent stack there. I kind of like that. I think James Conner could end up being a very interesting GPP play for week 1. Patrick Mahomes, Juju Smith-Schuster, MVS, Rondale Moore. Pretty interesting, but it's the lowest projected stack on the Chiefs side. And then you got Patrick Mahomes, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Travis Kelce, Marquise Brown. I think that could be a pretty popular one too. Pretty much anything with Marquise Brown is going to be popular. And then I think James Conner is a great way to get different in this stack, and I think having Rondale Moore will be pretty interesting as well. But you notice I don't have any McCole Hardman, but I also don't have any AJ Green. The only 2 wide receivers that are in this top, however many we got here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Our top 11 stacks don't have McCole Hardman from the Chiefs, and it doesn't have, as a run back option, AJ Green. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. But yeah, those are the top stacks for the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's go ahead and hit up number 2. Now we got number 2 on the list, the Cincinnati Bengals. And man, there's some really good stacks here. Great value plays here, which is making Joe Burrow a pretty popular play from what I've seen in ownership so far. We're going to talk about ownership later on in the week, but man, this is some really good value plays here. Let's go ahead and talk about it. At the top here, we got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Najee Harris. That looks to be the best stack for Cincinnati. So, highest projected and the best value. Definitely something to look at. Best stack rating. Pretty affordable in my opinion. Then we move on to Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Najee Harris, and I think this is a great way to get different. Just due to the fact that I don't think anyone's going to play Tyler Boyd week 1. Everyone's hyping up Jamar Chase. T. Higgins is right up there. A way to get different would be playing Tyler Boyd. Then we move on, and then we got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Deontay Johnson. One thing I will point out about Harris and Johnson is they're basically almost the exact same price. I mean, Najee Harris is $6,400, Deontay Johnson's $400 less. Harris has got like a 17 point projection, and Johnson's got a little bit above 14 on his projection. So that's why they're just a little bit different. But I think the Burrow, Chase, Higgins, Johnson stack, it would be more viable to me in my opinion. Then we got Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, Najee Harris. That hits you up with a 64.6 projection, the fourth best value play stack. Then we got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Claypool. I kind of like that. I don't think a lot of people are going to be playing Claypool. Then we got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Pat Freiermuth. Then we got Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Tyler Boyd, Deontay Johnson. These are some really great stacks. I typically try to not go anything under a 2.5 value play. So, that was, we could have gone for a while before we got down to the 2.5 value range. So, definitely one of the best stacks on the week is playing the Cincinnati Bengals. I suggest you do so. Number 1 on the list is the Arizona Cardinals, and man, I'm loving these stacks. Here at the top, we got Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown, Rondale Moore, Travis Kelce with a 2.76 value, a 66.2 projection, the highest projection on these stacks, the best stack in my opinion. Then we got Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown, Rondale Moore, and Juju Smith-Schuster. Then we got Marquise Brown, Rondale Moore, Sky Moore. Then we got Kyler Murray, Rondale Moore, Zach Ertz, Juju Smith-Schuster. Then we got Kyler Murray, Rondale Moore, Zach Ertz with Sky Moore as a run back option. I think Sky Moore is a great run back option for this week. Almost my favorite run back option on the Chiefs for these stacks. Then we got Kyler Murray, AJ Green. Finally got some AJ Green. I didn't have any in the Kansas City stacks for run back options, but I do have them in these stacks. So we got Kyler Murray, AJ Green, Rondale Moore, Travis Kelce. Then we got Kyler Murray, Rondale Moore, Marquise Brown, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This is the only Clyde Edwards-Helaire share that I got. But I really do like Clyde Edwards-Helaire all around. So you're definitely going to want to play Clyde Edwards-Helaire in like many stacks. Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown, Rondale Moore, and MVS. Then we got Kyler Murray, Marquise Brown, Zach Ertz, Juju Smith-Schuster. Then we got Kyler Murray, AJ Green, Rondale Moore, and Juju Smith-Schuster. One thing to keep in mind, though, is Rondale Moore is questionable, and Zach Ertz is also listed as questionable. So these very well could change over time. So it's really important to listen to the Saturday Final Thoughts video, because we will have a lot more of an idea of who's going to be in, who's going to be out. But yeah, so this is the number 1 stack in my opinion. I think Kyler Murray is going to have a great week 1. Along with his pass catching options, so definitely going to want to roster some Kyler Murray. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Well, there you have it, guys. Those are the top 5 stacks for the week 1 main slate. If you like this content, hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you want to see more content just like this. My Patreon provides these sheets we've discussed today and much more for a $5 a month fee. Drop down in the comments to ask me about it. Subscribe to my social media outlets for updates until the slate locks. And also, just if you have a comment in the comment section, go ahead and drop one. Let me know what your favorite stack is. Let me know what you think about my top 5 stacks. Do you have a different top 5? Drop it in the comments section. this is a place where we can all give each other advice. I don't have all the answers, but I feel like I got a good grasp on what we need to do to be successful for this week 1 slate. So yeah, open door communication is all I'm saying. But yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I hope to see you next time on